Hey, First Baptist friends and family, just wanted to come to you this week and give you just a quick update and also share a word of encouragement with you from Scripture. As it relates to an update, just want to remind you to be checking your email regularly and your correspondence through that. We're trying to regularly send you updates, prayer requests, things of that nature. So want to encourage you to check that regularly. In addition to that, if you're aware of any need within our church family, please let me know, let the church office know so that we can help take care of that. I hope that you've been encouraged this week, as I know many of you, probably all of you, received a call from some of our leadership just checking on you and praying for you. We want you to know that you're close to our minds and on our hearts, even though we can't be close together in proximity. So, at any rate, be checking your email and other correspondence, Facebook, as you are right now, for us to be able to connect with you in these days and times ahead. Real quick, what I wanted to do was share with you from Psalm 46:10. Psalm 46:10. This is probably a familiar verse for many of you. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress." Again, that's probably a common verse for many of you, and as you probably know, in the context of this psalm, the psalmist is really saying, "Hey, stop, consider, stop what you're doing." He's speaking particularly here to the enemies of God, as he talks in verse 9, those who are warring against God, and he's saying, "Hey, stop, listen, consider that God is God." Now, the psalm as a whole, though, is written to God's people, and what we can take away from this psalm is that God's people are always secure no matter what. We see that in the opening verses there. Verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, the psalmist says, the people of God say. And so God's people are always secure because of the work of God, because of the work of Christ, because of what He has done. And so for us, we can read that verse 10 and verse 11, "Be still." And it can be for the people of God a call to rest in God, to trust God in the midst of uncertainty. And certainly these are uncertain days. Perhaps you're feeling fear or worry. Maybe, I know I've talked to some of you recently, and you've got loved ones who might be affected specifically by this virus. Others who might have friends and family they know. Certainly, we're praying for our country and others who are affected as well. Many of you have had your jobs altered or affected in some way. Maybe it's that you've lost it or had your hours cut down, or maybe it's that you've been overworked in response to this, if you're in the medical field or the grocery field or the child care field or the teaching field or whatever it might be. And so in the midst of these uncertain times, we don't need to listen to the outside noise. We don't need to listen to the news continuously or scroll through Twitter or Facebook or however you get your news. We don't need to listen to those voices so much, because oftentimes, at least for me, coming away from those, I'm feeling anxious and more worried perhaps than I was before. And so for the people of God, we need to be still and know that He is God. There's peace and there's security and resting. Think about it. When you're still, you're not restless, you're not moving about. There's a peace that's over you. There's a solemnness that's over you. You're resting in the Lord. And boy, that's hard to do. It's hard to be still, isn't it? It's hard to let our minds rest. But the psalmist here encourages us to simply be still and know that God is God. He continues, he says, "I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." That's a great encouragement to us. We don't know what's going to come into our lives and what's going to come out of our lives, but we can be encouraged that our hope is not found in our finances, in our jobs, in the economy, in the stock market, in the governor or the president or Congress or policy or anything like that. Our hope is in God, and He will be exalted among the nations. He will be exalted among the earth. And that's good news for you and I, because look at verse 11. "The Lord of hosts is with us." The Lord of hosts is with us. He is near and close to his people. The God of Jacob is our fortress. You know, Martin Luther, the great reformer, wrote the famous hymn, "A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing." In fact, I was listening to that the other day, and Laylee wouldn't let me turn it off. She loves that song for some reason, and I love it too, because it's an encouragement to us to know that God is our shield and God is our fortress when the storms of life beat in on us, when uncertainty and fear and anxiety press in on top of us. We as the people of God can be still and rest in Him. We don't have to rest in the ups and downs of life or circumstances. We rest in God, and we know that the Lord of hosts is our peace. He is our hope. Thankfully, we have hope well beyond this world and well beyond the circumstances of today and yesterday and even the circumstances of tomorrow. So I encourage you, church, be still and know that He is God. May you find rest. May you find peace in that.